Hey guys, post-edit Fjarlar here. So Frontier and I recorded this show over the weekend, but as many of you know now, much news has been dropping the past few days about Rosenseal, Clotaire, and a bunch of other stuff in the patch. So some of the stuff we mentioned in this episode will either already be answered or will be outdated in some way, but hopefully you enjoy it regardless. Anyway, on with the episode. Hey everybody, welcome back, and I have Frontier with me today. How are you doing, Frontier?
I'm doing fine.
Alright, cool. So today we are going to be talking about the recent second anniversary stream that the Chinese devs put on recently. So I put out a video earlier explaining, just having a short explanation for all the things that they streamed. But today we're just going to elaborate a little bit on all of them and try to give some opinions on them and probably try to maybe clarify a few things that I've actually gotten quite a few questions on about that video, so I'll try to clarify things today. So first, let me explain a little bit about what that stream was. So of course that stream was the anniversary stream because the second year of the game is coming up very soon on the Chinese server, and second year of the game will be coming up for us in like 5 months. But for the second year of the game, they just decided to have an internet show because last year they had a live show, but this year they decided not to have a live show for safety reasons. I'm sure everyone knows.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so they started the show. So let me just start by saying I actually found the show a bit of a disappointment because I actually felt like there was not as much info as I was hoping for. So originally I was actually going to get we were going to get like a guest to come on with us to discuss it, but since I didn't feel like there was that much information, I think we'll wait a couple weeks until more info comes out, and then we'll have a guest on to talk about it with us. But for now, we'll just talk about what the show itself showed, which actually wasn't that much, but it did have one really big announcement, which I'm sure everybody is really crazy about right now. But basically, the show began with just a recap of the second year of the game, and they just showed it. So we're going to start by talking a little bit about that trailer. That trailer has a lot of spoilers for the Year 2 story, so I'm not going to talk about those things, but I am going to talk about some teasers they put in for the story of the third year of the game. So most notably, we are going to be talking about this image that I just sent to you, Frontier, with the silhouette. So the caption on the image says, the caption on the image says, "The reinforcements from El Sallia have arrived." So basically, in the story, something is going on, and we need, like, Matthew and co need to call in reinforcements from El Sallia, and we have this image which shows that the three of the characters from El Sallia, which of course is Illustrio, Bodamicus, and the middle one, who is shrouded in shadow, but I think a lot of us know who this probably is. Do you think you know who this is, Frontier?
I think it's Lily White because of the cane.
Oh yeah, it's our favorite miserly leader, Sissy White. So Sissy White has been a pretty popular character on the Chinese server, and I think she's relatively popular for global players as well, as far as the original characters go. So it's always been a real surprise for people that she's not playable in some way. So this image, once everybody saw it, everyone thought, oh, they're gonna make Sissy White playable. I'm looking forward to that myself if that happens. What do you think, Frontier?
I'm happy because the second I saw her, I'm like, I need this character on my roster. So if she is playable and this is her, then yes.
Yeah, I will say that like this silhouette is not of a character we've seen before, or at least like if it is Sissy White, she has not done this pose before. So if this is Sissy White, then they like drew new art for her, and the only reason they would do that is, well, they could do it for story reasons, but it's more likely they did it so they could sell that JPEG to you or that GIF to you.
JPEG, yes.
Hey, is this a gacha game? Is this a gacha game? We buy JPEGs for money.
I will say she probably, just from the silhouette, I would say she's probably older now than she was when we first saw her in Arc 1.
Yeah, I guess like it's been some amount of time since then. We don't know how much time has elapsed but I guess it's fair to say it's probably been a decent amount of time. So Sissy White might be older now.
Yeah.
And do you have any speculation you want to give as to what kind of unit Sissy White might be?
Oh gosh. Well, I can see her being a sword person if the cane has like a hidden sword in it, just for like the shenanigans. But most likely would probably be a holy unit, just because I don't see her being any other class. But
yeah, I mean, the few times we've seen Sissy White in like as an NPC in some like Gate of Fates and stuff, she was like an infantry unit, and she was actually pretty weak, which I guess makes sense because her position is not like as a warrior. She's just like sort of.
She's the boss. You know, he's in charge. She doesn't fight.
Which is why I feel like she will probably be more of like a support character, like kind of like possibly even a healer, but I don't know if that would be the case.
I could see her being like a Wyler buffer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Wheeler and the recent Florentia, they're both like in the story, they're both strategists. So like,
I could definitely see her being one of those, even in that faction.
Yeah, she could easily be like Glory. She like all the original characters are usually. I mean, all the like good guy original characters are usually Glory. Mm-hmm. She'll probably strategic or something. Aside from that, it's kind of hard to say. I guess sometimes they don't give a third faction on all of them. Well, I guess we'll see. Hopefully, the fans have their wishes answered, and this is Sissy White as a playable character.
Yes.
So get ready for that. All right. Well, with that out of the way, let's get into like what was in the show proper.
Okay.
So like the I will say like one of the reasons I found the stream kind of disappointing was because I don't feel like they structured the string very well. So usually in like a show like this, they like spread out the big reveals throughout the show so that you keep watching. But basically what they did here is that they took like 20-30 minutes at the beginning to give all the big reveals, and then the rest of it was just like a bunch of Apex matches.
Oh yeah.
And then I watched it and I was just like, oh, it's over.
Dang.
I mean, to be fair, like probably part of my disappointment comes from the fact that I stayed up really late to watch it, because obviously this is a show in China and that's like in the middle of the night for me. So
yeah,
I stayed up kind of late to watch it. But
I didn't even know what happened though. It's like, oh,
yeah. I mean, I had some people ask me like, oh, you know, could you let us know next time there's a show like this? And I'll do that next time, because I figured like maybe not that many people will want to watch it because it's in a language you probably don't speak.
It's would have been cool to watch.
But I figured, but I guess next time there's something like this, I'll try to put a PSA out.
Okay.
But I mean, it is. I mean, next time it'll probably also be in the middle of the night. So of course, you know, if you got the time, then you do that. So okay, let's talk about the actual show. So the first thing they did was talk about the next time rift available, which of course is Langrisser 5. I don't think they were gonna go with like something else. I don't think they were gonna like suddenly go into Langrisser reincarnation story or something in the time rift. But they showed off a lot of the Langrisser 5 characters that they already made cool art for. So Langrisser 5 is actually the first Langrisser game I played, so this is something I've been waiting for, and it's great to see like all the characters come to life in the new art style. Not much to say here. It's pretty much expected. Langrisser 4 time lifted, Langrisser 5 time lift is now, so
nice.
That's it. All right.
Okay.
The next thing was the 3 swimsuit skins they talked about.
Oh yes.
So I'm usually not like big into swimsuit skins because I'm one of those nerds that really needs to be immersed in my fantasy video games, so I don't like swimsuit skins. But if you're a fan of these, they are creating one for Liffany, one for Rachel, and one for Night of Mystery. So...
I'm getting Night of Mystery, no questions. That is
well,
mine.
everybody, the Liffany one is going to be free from an event of some kind, so everybody gets to have the Liffany one. All right, I don't think there's a lot to say. Skins are just, if you like them, you get them.
They're nice.
That's for, yeah. Okay, so let's and next we can talk about the one of the big gameplay changes, which of course is the new soldiers. So during the show, they showed off 2 of the new soldiers. They said that they are going to introduce 10 new soldiers to the game. And then they are also going to introduce, they also said, I believe, 10 new training nodes. So, like, you know, the stat nodes and possibly, like, the tech nodes as well. So, they also, at the same time, they also mentioned that this is actually going to be the last time they are adding core training nodes for the game. So, what that means is that from now on, they will only add, like, if we get into, like, the 4th year of the game or something, they will not be adding more stats for you to have to grind Aniki for. They will just be adding new soldiers, which I think is nice. Yeah, I think this is a pretty good place to draw the line, because like if you keep going too far, because then it's like impossible to catch up.
Yeah, any new player will never have a chance to be good, and then the whales are just, you know, the skill gap would just be too far to ever overcome.
Yeah, I mean even as it is right now, like it takes so much farming to cap out your Aniki. Yeah,
but
so
it's
like
still possible and to be decent.
Yeah, like my aquatic and flyer training ground, for example, I'm nearing capping the stats on it, and I'm a budget player, so like, you know, I know some whales like are like close to capping like everything or something.
Yeah, dang.
So I mean that's the gap between whales and budget players, but like it's nice that they're drawing a line.
Yeah, it's definitely nice compared to other games and whatnot.
Yeah, you can't just keep I mean, you could keep adding stats, but then like that's just like
mean.
Especially because like whales advance faster than budget players, so like the gap will just get wider and wider.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, aside from that, we got 10 new soldiers here. They revealed 2 of them. So first, we're going to talk about the 2 soldiers they actually showed us, and then we will try to speculate a little bit about these 8 silhouettes we got here, because I think there's some really interesting ones that we can see, like even just from silhouettes. But let's start with the ones they actually showed. So first, we got this RoboCop on a motorcycle.
Yeah,
it's called the Machine Rider.
I saw it was a hovercraft, but yeah, that's a motorcycle.
Okay, well, it's the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's motorcycle thing.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so this thing, I'm guessing it's a cavalry unit. They actually explicitly said it's a cavalry unit. So this unit says that when it is actively attacking, attack plus 30%, and when you get attacked, you get defense plus 15%. And then it also says that if the HP is above 80%, then when you are traveling over defensive terrain, you will get 2 spaces of free movement. Basically like Illustrio's talent. Basically, you get 2 spaces of the Lusty talent if the soldiers are above. Well, they didn't specify if it's soldiers or unit above 80%. But yeah, like these seem like a pretty solid soldier because first off, it's balanced for attack and defense for both attacking and defending.
Yeah.
And you got moving over terrain, which is something that cavalry units always struggle with. So yeah, it looks like a pretty solid unit.
Yeah. Okay, what's the next one?
Okay, so the next one is called. If I wanted to translate it, it would be something like Punisher or Smiter, something along those lines. So it's a holy unit, and it says when it's attacked and in battle, so it doesn't work on AoE. When it's attacked in battle, it will get 20% damage reduction. So this is all damage, so both physical and magical.
Oh wow!
And then it also says that if there are no debuffs on the unit, then the unit actually cannot be killed in one hit, and it will revive for 20% life, and then the soldiers will lose 20% of their max life, and this will activate once per map. So basically, first off, just taking the damage reduction part, this is really nice because it's like one thing about tanking options in this game is that we have almost no mixed tanking options. It's almost always like we got a physical tanking soldier or a magical tanking soldier.
Yeah.
This is one of the first times they've added a soldier that just straight up tanks both types of damage, like by 20%. I mean, nice. It remains to be seen how good they are at it because obviously their stats will matter as well.
Oh yeah.
But it is nice that they are holy class, so you don't have to worry about weaknesses, I guess. Although that's a double-edged sword, of course, because then you can't like counterpick with using these.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does look like a really nice balanced tanking option. Like it tanks 20% damage from any attack, and it's a holy class, so it can't be it can be killed by Judge Talisman, is what it is.
Oh, you're right.
But yeah, aside from that, the revive sounds nice, but of course debuffs are flying around really commonly these days from and mythical boxes.
You're probably getting some tiny little debuff somewhere.
Of course, you can just bring Gospel, Gospel your tank, and they will be able to tank with these. But of course, there's a bigger downside than just the bigger downside is that you actually lose max HP when you revive with these. So it's not a completely free revive. So it is. It's a pretty interesting soldier, I gotta say. I think it's a pretty good it's a pretty good addition to the.
I will definitely probably try it with my Lydon.
I mean, I don't know who's getting these yet, but I am very, very I think it's very likely Lydon will get these, but
yeah,
we don't know for sure. I think it's unlikely that the tanks that are really good already will get these. I don't think Landius will get these. I don't think Juggler will get these. I think Emilia could get these, although that would be kind of crazy because that would mean she has 2 revives. But why not? Lydon will get these. I think it's pretty likely Freya will get these. But yeah, it's hard to say who exactly will be getting these. I think it's very likely Lydon will get them.
Watch Estelle get it.
I mean, Estelle would like these too. Like Estelle actually has a lot of trouble like tanking, and she like if she had a revive, that would actually help her a lot.
Yeah, so she might. We'll watch out.
And like Estelle can make herself immune to debuffs. Remember, like she
so that would be a really good choice for her.
Yeah, so if she Phoenix dances, then you can't kill her in one hit.
Nice. Okay. Well, we'll find out.
All right. So let's start the wild mask guessing frontier. Are you ready?
Yes. You can go first.
Okay. Let's start with the top left, and we'll go, I guess, counterclockwise.
Yeah.
All right. So the top left, I look at the silhouette, and I'm seeing some daggers. I think this is an assassin unit. What do you think?
I am seeing a hood and dagger assassin.
Yeah, I think it's an assassin, but I don't know what kind of assassins they could add at this point. They gotta like, I think more assassin choices that have attack bonus would be nice, because when you look at the assassin soldiers we have bandits, which are like the balanced attack and critical hit choice.
Yeah.
But then all the other assassins are like fixed, like a lot of them are just like fixed damage. You have like Misc Dancers, which add a debuff.
Yeah.
You got Shinobi, which do fixed damage. You got Samurais, which can attack in melee, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else they could add. I mean, I guess another a magic based assassin would be so busted. Like,
yes.
It would give a lot of people a bad day.
Yeah. Well, then I can definitely see it happening.
All right. So let's go to the one under it. So this one right here, I think, is really interesting, because the first thing I saw when I saw this is like, this looks just like Renata.
Yep.
So my first thought is they are going to add a soldier that's sort of like special, like maybe not specific, like only Renata can use it, but it's probably going to be like specially designed to be really good on Renata.
Yeah, it will definitely be a demon or flying.
I think it'll be flying, but it'll be interesting if they added like a dragon type soldier, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, my guesses are succubus, just because of the horns and the tail, or dragon like Renata.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like a dragon sort of character like Renata, because the horns and the wings placement look very similar to the sprite that Renata has. I'm kind of wondering like what kind of soldiers they could add for Renata that would work well with her. I mean, the cheap one I could think of was to make like debuffs from this unit cannot be resisted. That's one thing. I mean, that would be really busted. But
Ouch, yeah.
I would like that to be on Renata, because I think Renata needs a lot of help right now, because she's okay, but she has so many flaws that I think a special soldier would really help her out. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with these.
Yeah, but then again, if she does get like a specific soldier, then a lot of people are gonna have to invest in that specific soldier to make her good. So it'll just more investment.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of people who play Sigma, for example, had to invest in Cyborg, and like almost nobody else uses Cyborgs. So,
oh yeah.
Well, that's what happens when you gotta play with your waifu, okay? You gotta make the sacrifice. Okay, so let's move to the one right next to it. I have no idea what this looks like. I think it looks kind of like a demon soldier. I think it has a hood, and it looks like it has kind of an aura around it, and the robes look kind of like ripped up and tattered. So that's why I think it might be like either a mage or maybe like an evil like demon mage sort of character.
It to me looks like the Force Patrol, the Force.
Oh, look at the Force Priest. Yeah,
the Force Priest.
A little bit.
It looks exactly like that with the pointed hood. It kind of to me on her the left side right now. To me, it looks like the person is holding a book, but that's just
okay.
Me. So like definitely some mage character. That's all I got.
Yeah, I think this silhouette is a little bit harder to tell. But the one right next to it, I think, is a little bit easier to tell. So it looks like it looks like some kind of adventure sort of sprite with the cape and like the. Yeah, I think this could be. I think this could either be like this could be any number of units. Like this could be an assassin. This could be holy. I don't think it could be like infantry, lancer, or cavalry. Well, I mean, it's obviously not cavalry, but it's like it probably is not infantry or lancer either. But I think I'm thinking assassin or holy.
I'm gonna go with Avenger, and it's gonna be infantry because I'm looking at the rest of them, and I don't see that many infantry people.
Okay.
Yeah, but definitely Avenger. I'm going to guess that this soldier will be on. If Lily White is a character, this soldier will be with her kit.
Oh, bold prediction from Frontier.
Yes.
All right.
But if I'm right, I will be a mad genius.
All right. Let's go to one. Okay, let's cross the middle and go to the next one on the right, which is this. This one is also kind of hard to tell, I think, because it looks like it has a bird's beak.
Yeah, I'm saying a bird. Good.
It's like a bird warrior. But I actually think this might be an infantry. It looks a little bit like it could be to me, it looks like it could be an infantry, but
okay.
It's kind of hard to tell. Got any thoughts?
Bird. That's it.
Okay. Bird warrior. All right.
Bird warrior.
Let's move to one next to it. So this one I think looks a lot like Illustrial when she's on a wolf archer class. So I think this is going to be like, I mean, it would be so crazy if they gave Illustrial like a soldier design for her or something, because Lusty right now is so crazy. Like Lusty is really powerful right now, especially on the Chinese server, because she recently got her 3-cost skill and she is just running wild.
I can see them doing it for her because if they make the Dragon Warrior for Nada. Well, this is all speculation, but I would, yeah, it could be her. Or mini Illustrial.
Yeah, because like Illustrial is like. Because right now, like Illustrial, like if you watch some of the Chinese Season 5 battles, like some of them are just first banning Illustrial. She's that scary. Like she's just insane, like right now. Yeah, but I mean, like the thing about giving Illustrial a special soldier is that I don't know what they could give her that she doesn't already have. I mean, she has. I mean, I guess she could use like better like 5-move archer troops, because demon hunters are really bad. The
soldier will have 3 range, just like catapults, making her give Uriel's bow has 4 range.
Oh my god!
Run.
Yeah, but like right now, Lustra has a lot of good choices already. She of course has the boner dinos. Okay. I mean, those are her like main choices for just like busting through an enemy. She has Dragoons if you really want those. Gargoyles are okay. And then she has Demon Hunters if you really want to kill a flyer or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what they could add to Illustrial that isn't already a niche that she already has. But, you know, they could give it some crazy tech, like, you know, range +1.
Yes.
Or even like... You know what would be crazy is if they gave it the Guard Pierce ability that her special equipment had.
That would... No, I don't want to see that.
They give it to other characters.
Just tanks don't exist anymore. Year 3, tanks are gone.
This is our way of nerfing Landius and Juggler. You just don't use tanks at all.
Goodbye. Delete.
All right. Okay. So the next one is I think it might be a wolf. Frontier.
I don't know. Is that a werewolf? Who could figure this out?
Okay. This one is Yeah, this one, a werewolf, which probably means demon class.
Yeah, it's like, is it demon or is it cavalry? We'll find out.
Actually, like cavalry could be possible too. Like that actually could be possible. But this is actually interesting.
I could definitely see it be a demon, because there aren't that many demon class soldiers that I can remember that are actually good.
I'll say this, like, a lot of demon soldiers are good, but people don't use them because they're scared of holy counters.
Yeah.
But, like, there are like for example, skeleton knights. People do use skeleton knights quite often, but those are a tanky option. What I'm looking for is like, there's not that many offensive demon troops. You know, you got like undead knights, which are decently offensive, but they actually don't have any sort of offensive boost in their like ability. They just get the vanilla offensive boost from like all the demon techs. And then you have what is it? The Spider Demon. The Spider Demon is like it's magic damage and it's okay, but like it's not that great. It's like they're magic demon hunters basically. So there isn't like a demon soldier that actually has like an attack bonus or a damage bonus. It would be interesting if this werewolf is one of those.
Yeah, definitely.
Because demon techs are very strong. So like, if they added like a purely offensive demon soldier, I could see people bring it. Because some people already bring undead knights sometimes on like Sonya and stuff.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely see. I'm looking forward to this one.
All right, and the one above it is
Billy the Kid. That's just it. Just literally just Billy the Kid. They bring him in.
Okay. Yeah. It's a guy with a gun.
2 guns. Dos. Or actually, it could be a sword. Look close.
Yeah. I think it's a gun in one hand and a sword in the other. So it's like
I'd Billy the Kid thing.
I would say it's a demon hunter, but we already literally have demon hunters in the game. So
Demon hunter.
Yeah, Demon Hunters 2.0. So yeah, I mean, I don't think it would be a real shock for these to be archer troops.
Because this is just speculation, I'm just gonna throw this out. It's the Whale Hunter.
Okay.
If you spend a certain amount of money in the game, this particular soldier will do more damage to your units. So it's even the playing field. It's not, but that would be ridiculous.
I would use it if it was that.
Oh yeah, it'd be just fun. Sweet Dango, come here!
Die, Sweet Dango, die, Royally! Okay, so you got anything final you gotta say about the soldiers? Do you have any like hopes for the soldiers?
I want some of them to be like. Actually, I just want all of them to be good, to where like we can actually see a lot of them be played. Because out of the current training grounds, I don't see that many people using it. Except like Cyborg. What else? I've seen one person use Crystal, the Crystal Golems, and unicorns.
Yeah, unicorns were a mistake. Like last time they added soldiers, I think they actually added a pretty good variety last time. But the problem was that unicorns were so overwhelmingly OP that it's just like they overshadowed every other soldier they added.
Yeah,
like, unicorns were ridiculous.
I don't see any of the holy ones. I saw freaking some dude in the chest auto battle use Steel Wing Warrior, and he came second. He took away half my juggler's HP, and then Elwyn just came and made my juggler delete.
I mean, Steel Wing Warriors are actually a pretty common choice right now for like Ares, and they are put in front of Elwyn because Elwyn didn't have a lot of soldier choices before the SP hero, which we'll get to in a minute.
Yeah.
But like Steel Wing Warrior is a choice for him because it's neutral damage to everything, and you don't have to like predict what your enemy might bring.
Yeah.
Steel Wing is gonna be equipped on Reen when he comes out. So Steel Wings are actually a pretty common choice.
I'm glad that I made him 10 yesterday.
Yeah. And what else is there? The Crystal Warlocks are actually pretty like if you go into like really high level play, like you'll see Crystal Warlocks quite often. You don't see them that often at like from like budget players and stuff because we have other things we need to raise before Crystal Warlocks. But Crystal Warlocks are actually really good if you put them on like Bozel or Rachel because they reflect physical damage. So what they can do is like if an assassin tries to kill your Rachel with Crystal Warlocks, sometimes you'll just counter kill them because of the reflected damage.
Dang.
Yeah, so Crystal Warlocks are actually really good. And then you have like Forest Priests, which of course were really good. Forest Priests are just a really great healing troop. The problem with them is that they didn't give them to a lot of units. So like Wheeler uses them, Almeida uses them.
Young Jessica and D-Lit.
Oh, Young Jessica might use them, but sometimes if she's AoE.
Yeah.
They added the Dwarf Adventurer. The Dwarf Adventurer is like pretty niche. Like pretty much like almost only Lambda uses them. Sometimes Maya uses them.
Yeah.
Cyborgs, of course, as we mentioned, cyborgs were like for Sigma. Pretty much only Sigma uses them. Sometimes Shalinka uses them. But yeah, like you're right that like last time they added soldiers, like unicorns just overshadowed everything. Everybody was like, "Oh my god, unicorns!"
Yes.
The crystal golems are like. At first, I thought the crystal golems were trash, but then like I saw like some really funny builds with it that actually work pretty well. So crystal golems they're not common, but you can do some pretty funny builds with them. So okay. I do like that. I do. But yeah. Hopefully this time they're a little bit more careful about how they balance the soldiers and don't create one that's like overwhelmingly like dominant.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So are we done with the soldiers now?
Yeah, I would say.
All right. So let's move on to the biggest thing that I think people have been discussing a lot recently, which is the new SP hero system. So
yeah.
I'm going to try to like elaborate a little bit about how this works because I've had a lot of people asking me like how exactly does this work. So they didn't reveal that much info about it yet, but basically SP hero is the simple way of putting it is that it's just a new class for these characters. So during the show they actually compared these to 3-cost skills and exclusive equipment. So they said like not every character will get an SP hero, but you know we're going to add them bit by bit to the game. They didn't specify who gets priority, but I'll like talk a little bit about that in a minute. But basically what I mean is that you can think of them as like 3-cost skill is just another way to upgrade the hero. So basically, this time instead of getting a new just one new skill or like one extra cost, what you get is you get a completely new character class. You get a like these SP heroes actually get a completely new talent.
Okay.
So they get from what I know, they get one new soldier and 2 new skills. So the way to unlock this SP hero is that first you need to have the max heart bond, which I don't think is too hard nowadays. But basically it means it's not accessible for newer players. It's pretty easy for like a long time players, of course, but of course this means like this is totally locked off from newer players because heart bond takes a while to get to if you're newer to the game.
Oh yeah.
It also requires a new material called it's if I was to translate it literally, it's something like the heart of the alternate self, but I translated it as something like alternate heart just to keep it simple. Like some people ask me like when I translate stuff, they tell me like, why don't you translate it like more literally? And I'm like, why would I do that? It's like, why would you want me to do that? it just makes names like unnecessarily long for no reason.
Yeah, okay.
But basically, like before this came out, the rumor that was circulating was that you had to use hero shards to upgrade them, but this is not the case. It's a completely new item.
Okay, that's
good. We don't know how they're obtained yet, so it's still unknown like how hard it is going to be to unlock these SP heroes. So once you unlock the SP hero, you can switch between the normal original hero and the SP hero anytime you want. So basically, it's like a class change.
By any time you want, that's before battle, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, just to make sure, because I saw that in the video and I was kind of confused, because like, could you switch like in the battle, like boom, Cav element? Oh no.
That would be an interesting mechanic they could save for later on, but no, that's not the case here.
Okay.
Okay, so basically, so it's basically another class. You go to the menu and switch to the class. So like I said, you get a new talent. You get what I believe is 1 new soldier and 2 new skills. What I find interesting about this is that we'll talk about L1's talent in a second. What I find interesting is that overall, even though this new SP L1 that they showed off, it does look very powerful, but when you take a closer look, it is not necessarily a strict upgrade over his normal version. It's actually more of like it's almost like a side grade, which I think is really interesting. So like there's going to be situations where you actually want to go back to the original hero, and sometimes you will want to use the SP version. So the first 2 characters that will be getting SP hero are Elwyn and Freya, who are 2 units that I think were really in need of help. Elwyn is falling behind a lot in PvP. Pretty much nobody uses them anymore on the Chinese server, and you'll see him occasionally on global. But he's becoming very rare. Freya, of course, is seen very rarely. Freya is actually pretty good, but the problem with Freya is that the bracer emblem was a mistake. It's like,
RIP.
It's like immunity to fixed damage just completely ruins Freya. I mean, otherwise she would have been pretty good choice still. An SP hero will help her. So let me take this moment real quick to address like this an SP Freya talent that's been circulating around on like Discord and stuff. So some people have been asking me like, oh, is this Freya like talent for her SP hero version, is it real? So let me tell you, like, usually when I'm like getting information from the Chinese server, there are Chinese players are just like anybody else. Okay, they like bullshitting each other, they like making fake news. Okay, like they're just like gamers anywhere else. They like to bamboozle you with fake news. So yeah, they like to meme on each other too. So like I will say like this Freya SP talent that's been circulating around on like Discord and stuff, as far as I know, this is not from a reliable source of any kind. Usually when I like the Wikigrisser has gotten stuff wrong before, and like apologies for that, but like I've been trying to like play it safe from then on, like trying to keep like as much speculation off the wiki as possible, and trying to keep it to like just absolutely confirmed stuff if I can. And as far as rumors go, I usually only bring them up in like Discord and stuff if I know it's from like a pretty reliable source. So before the show began, like they actually there was a leak about Elwyn's cavalry class, and there was a leak about a couple of his skills which were slightly inaccurate but were actually mostly on the nose, and all of those were from consistently reliable sources. So like yeah, so it's the internet as always. Like if you hear something in Discord, be skeptical.
Okay.
So like now that that's out of the way, let's talk about like this SP hero Elwyn, because it's pretty crazy. So SP hero Elwyn is a cavalry class. It's a special class called the Holy Dragon Knight, I believe. So for those of you who are not familiar with the Langrisser 2 story, this is probably like kind of a play on how, of course, Leon is the Blue Dragon, and Vargas is the Crimson Dragon. So I guess like this is a play on that. So like Elwyn is the Holy Dragon in this case. So he is the.
Oh.
What I find really interesting is that the talent he gains in this new class is actually kind of a mix between Leon and Vargas.
Oh, yes.
When you kind of, like when you look at it. So when Elwyn is in this new class, so when he attacks, he will get extra damage and he'll get extra defense. And he also has a revive, which of course everybody has a revive these days. He has a revive if nobody is near him.
Everybody gets one.
You get a revive and you get a revive. Everybody gets a revive. Okay, so like he gets a revive if there are no allies within 2 spaces. So basically, they pretty much outright stated that this L1 is designed to just charge in and just like attack, and just like if they try to counterattack, he's gonna revive and you can like run up and save him or something.
Nice.
So the other thing is that of course he has a part of his talent that's similar to Leon, in that he gets stronger with blocks move, but in this case, instead of gaining damage, he will restore life before battle, which is actually really, really powerful when you think about it, because that means like he could be injured way on the other side of the map, and then he just runs straight to your tank, he recovers all his life and just bust your tank. So that's pretty nuts. And of course, like if he runs 4 blocks or more, he's going to attack first, which is even crazier. So
oh my gosh, that's.
okay. I didn't mention this, but like SP heroes and normal heroes can share their skills. So they can share skills and soldiers. This is also something that on Discord some people have been like telling me like, oh, I don't think they can share skills. Okay, to like clarify once and for all, the info they gave during the stream, they very specifically said that SP heroes and their normal versions can share skills. I'm actually going to cut a clip of the stream into this video to make sure, and I'm going to put subtitles at the bottom, because I want to make sure that people understand that I am not saying this, like, I'm not mistranslating anything. The only way this would be wrong is if the guy misspoke. Okay? So I will be putting that clip up.
Okay.
When I'm editing this.
除了天赋和职业以外 ，SP 形态还将习得几个特殊的技能，而这几个技能和天赋以及职业不同，是可以被原形态所装备的。同样，原形态下的技能和兵种也可以被 SP 形态所使用。
Where was I? Oh yeah, because they can share skills. I mean, you got this crazy talent, Elwyn. He can run in and do like sword soul. He could do frontal assault. So that's just insane. That's really scary. Just that talent alone is really scary.
I don't like the sync. I've stopped like dreaming now because of this game. Everything's just nightmares.
Everything's a nightmare.
The possibility of this thing existing. I'm not afraid of anything, but this thing, it scares me.
I mean, I guess it was appropriate they gave Elwyn overpowered, because Elwyn's such a popular character, and
yeah,
people were frustrated that he wasn't that good. So you gotta bring him back.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
like...
but next, we haven't even gotten to the new skills he's gotten yet. So let's talk about the new skills he's got. Okay, so the first one he got is Glorious Charge, which is it's very similar to Chivalry. Basically, it's a 2-cost skill, 4-turn cooldown. So when he uses this, he gets a buff that says Elwyn's special sword has a 100% activation rate. That's the first effect it gets. Which
do we know what the special sword is, or is that referring to something?
His special equipment.
Just the Airite Knight.
The sword that says like it might clock 30% of the time. It does it 100% of the time when you have this up.
Oh god.
So you can. So that's only one of the effects it gives. It gives him immunity, just like Chivalry, so he's immune to all debuffs.
Dang.
And then after use, it's just like Chivalry. He can move 3 blocks and attack. And then it says if he's not a mixed troop, he can move 4 blocks instead, which is even better. And of course, the soldier that they gave him in this new class is Unicorn. So you can put Cav Elwyn with Unicorns, getting a Shiv that gives him 4 extra movement and make him immune to debuffs. makes him have guaranteed clock on his next attack skill. Because his talent says move at least 4 blocks, that means if you're not a mixed troop, you don't have to like run, like you don't have to like plan out running the 4 blocks. You need to not be mixed troops and then use this glorious charge skill, and you can move 4 blocks and attack first.
Oh god.
But there is one caveat to this, and like, okay, take a look at this skill. Okay, so like, what do you think is missing from this skill when you're looking at it? Because there's something missing from this skill that you would typically expect from a Shiv type skill.
Attack buff?
Yes, exactly. There is no attack buff on this skill, so that is actually one thing that I noticed immediately, is that this, unlike Chivalry, like Chivalry gives you 30% attack and you can charge it immediately. So this is not a skill you can just like turn 1, just like use immediately and then charge in. So like that is a downside. Like obviously if you have like you can buff him with strengthen or something, but like obviously then he needs support to be ready on turn 1. Of course, Elwyn has his faction buff, so he just use your faction buff, but it does mean that he can't just like he's not like Leon, where he can take Chivalry in place of his faction buff. Elwyn, if he wants to be completely self-sufficient, he needs to bring his faction buff along with this charge skill.
Okay.
So that is one thing I noticed about it. But otherwise this skill is pretty nuts. It's absolutely disgusting. You have any thoughts?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess they didn't give him an attack buff, because then it'd be like, yeah, Leon, just go. You've been replaced.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Yeah,
definitely more scary now.
Yeah. I mean, Elwyn did need a boost, but yeah, this is pretty nuts. The other skill he got, I think, is actually not that impressive. It's okay, but it seems like this skill was created to make up for the fact that he can't heal himself anymore in his new SP class, because it says like, okay, so this one's called Lonely Resolve, or I initially translated it as Lone Wolf, but whatever.
I like Lone Wolf more, because if you look at the picture, it kind of looks like his what was the event that we had him where he was evil?
The Lonely King.
Yeah.
So like I mean, Lonely Resolve is a more like faithful translation, I guess, but I initially translated it as Lone Wolf because that seemed to make more sense as like a localized translation.
Yeah.
But I mean, whatever. We'll see what they name it when it comes to global. Okay. But anyway, this one says like when an ally unit dies, he will heal 20% life, and then he will also get a buff that heals him before battle if he's attacked. Ooh, and it will also give him like the L1 heal self talent from like dealing damage and then restoring life, but only when you're attacked. So like I said, this passive is very clearly designed to be like sort of making up for the fact that his SP class has bad enemy phase output. Because his original class, like the original Elwyn, was very good at both player phase and enemy phase, like just like brawling.
Yeah.
Especially in PvE. Like in PvE, you could like put up frontal assault and you could like fight up a bunch of enemies. That's what I mean when I said like it's interesting, because like these new SP classes do seem to be like somewhat side grades to the original character. This Lonely Resolve seems to be trying to make up for the fact that he lost some of his abilities from his original Infantry and Lancer classes, but of course, it would take an entire skill slot, and I don't think this is worth the slot at all. It doesn't look that great.
Okay.
But it does, yeah, and it requires a unit to die, so like...
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like, on it. It looks okay. Like, I'm sure people can think of some applications for it, but it's not that great.
Yeah, I guess maybe it was like a Gizaroff.
Yeah, I think that's about all I have to say. And of course, like I mentioned briefly before, his new soldier is Unicorn, because of course it is.
Yeah.
And we also got the base stats for his new Holy Dragon Knight class, which is actually kind of interesting because his stats are actually overall, I would say overall kind of worse than his previous classes. So overall he loses some bulk. This is actually the frailest of his 3 classes, I would say. It has a bit more HP than his hero class, but it has quite a bit less defense. It has less skill than hero, a little bit more than Grand Marshal. And it has the most attack out of his classes, but only 5 more than his hero class. So it's not that huge of an improvement. Although, like, compared to his Grand Marshal class, of course, it's a huge attack increase.
Okay.
But overall, like, yeah, that's why again, this is why I say this is like a side grade, because you know, you look at the stat spread, you look at these skills, you look at some of the talents, like some of the things he's missing from his original version. This new version, I think this new version will clearly be better in like PvE in most PvP in most cases, but for PvE, I think you still want normal L1 over SP L1.
One question. You said that the SP heroes can use their regular hero skills. Can the regular hero use the SP skills?
They can.
Okay.
That is one thing a lot of people were asking me about.
Yeah, because that may be good to get the one cav skill on like an infantry or the tank or the lance one, just for the movement space. I would probably use it on my lance one.
Yeah, because that's a good point. Because like when you think about it, like Lancer Landy is pretty common. It's getting more and more common, and Cav Landy, of course, is weak to Lancer. So if you really wanted full tank busting potential against Landius, you still want to stick with Lancer L1, but you could stick the Glorious Charge skill onto Lancer L1 and just makes Lancer L1 that much better. So,
yeah, because then you can close the gap between.
Yeah. So even for his like this, the cool thing about these new SP skills is that it even buffs the original L1 while they're at it. So it's nice that it's not just like an end-all be-all new class that everybody is going to class L1 into. It's interesting. We might see Cav L1s, we might see Lancer L1 still, we might see Sword L1 still.
Nice. Okay.
So I do think I do think this is a good indication of what they're doing with SP heroes. It's going to it's not necessarily going to be like an ultimate upgrade for the hero, but it might add some variety to how the hero is played. I think if they base more of their SP heroes like this, then I think it's not so bad.
Definitely, yeah. Do we have anything on Freya?
Unfortunately, they did not show anything about Freya other than her art. They did show her art, which looks very pretty.
Okay.
I'll put that image on screen when
it
I
does.
Edit. Yeah. But aside from that, do you have anything final you got to say about this new SP hero?
They definitely look cool and are. And adding more skills makes more characters more viable in different situations. That's always a good thing because you don't want to be stuck with some character that you really like has a cool design. It's like, oh, yeah, they're garbage.
Yeah, the new design is pretty cool, and the fact that they get new talents is a really big deal because like some heroes were sort of dead on arrival because of their talents. Like the first character that comes to mind, and I think this character should be one of the first ones up for SP hero in my opinion, is Betty. Absolutely, like no question for me. Betty should be one of the first characters getting SP hero to me. Like I know I crap on Betty a lot on this show, and I know like if there's a Betty fan out there and I'm pissing you off, I'm sorry. I don't mean to do that, but like Betty is really bad.
Yeah.
And it's not like I want Betty to be bad. It's just like the way to design her. It's like they designed her in a way where like she could be interesting, but they did it in a way so that she is completely useless in any practical sense. So Betty getting an SP hero, I think she should be one of the first ones up, in my opinion. And that's another. Oh yeah, that's another thing they actually mentioned later on in the show is that, of course, SR characters are considered because obviously Freya is one of the first ones coming up, and SP heroes actually when you change them into the SP mode, they will get SSR level stats. So for SR characters at least, I don't know if this is like for SSR heroes it looks like they're going to be side grades, but for SR heroes it looks like it might be like a straight upgrade, but we don't know. We do know that the stats will be straight up better though, almost completely. But yeah, aside from that, the one thing they mentioned later on in the show is that they might choose our characters as SP heroes.
That would be cool, having our heroes be good, or you know.
I think it's actually really interesting because they actually said they were going to have player polls to determine. They might have player polls to determine this, but like, unfortunately for us global players, that we probably won't be able to participate in these things. I mean, I tried talking to I actually tried messaging the devs or like our local team, like whether or not they could like bring such like bring surveys like that over, and they kind of gave me like this answer like, we'll try, but we can't like guarantee it.
That's fine.
I mean, like, you know, our local team, like, they try their best, but like, sometimes this Chinese office, they just don't care. They're just, like, their focus is on their Chinese market, and I guess they focus a little bit more on their Korea and their Japan market as well.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, the people who bring in the more money.
Yeah, because like this game is a little bit more successful in Korea, Japan, and China. Like it's pretty obscure over here in the States, and I guess global in general. It's most relatively obscure. But yeah, like our characters. The interesting thing is like if they make our characters into SP heroes, is that they are starting off at a disadvantage already, because since they share skills, like let's take for example like Lewin, who is just like a worse Elwyn basically.
Yeah.
Like if you gave him an SP hero, yeah, sure, you can give him 2 like really busted skills, but like look at his original skills. Like he has Sun Slash, he has Roar, he has Battle Cry. Like these are okay skills, but like he's not like Elwyn. He doesn't have Sword Soul. He doesn't have frontal assault in his back pocket ready for that SP hero. So even if our characters get SP versions, I don't think I think you should temper your expectations, because like I'm sure they will make them like really. I'm sure they'll get like the SR stats. They'll get some really good new skills, but they are working with a limited skill set to begin with. So that is a big limitations that our characters will be facing if they get chosen as SP heroes.
Okay.
All right. Whew. Yeah, that was probably the biggest like bombshell of this show. You got anything you want to say, Frontier? Any particular characters you really hope could get an SP version?
I can't think of any at this moment in time, but
I think one you would. I mean, I think one you and I would both like. I would like an SP Layden.
Oh yeah.
that would be nice.
Yeah, I guess because if you do look at the art, it's mostly like when they're actually kings. Like Freya's look like she's actually like a queen now.
Yeah.
So yeah, Layden definitely could be a participant in that if it's going with like the king regard.
Yeah, I like to get a little bit more fancy design with the new art. So yeah, you just got to add a little bit more gold plating. That's the rule of fantasy stories. Like when you upgrade, you get a bunch of gold plating on your armor.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's all we have to say about the new SP heroes.
Yeah.
So let's move on. So like some other like little things they talked about during the show, they somewhat related to like the R and SR character thing. They mentioned that some players are concerned about like a lot of heroes. They like, we get more and more powerful characters, but then like there's gonna be like characters we don't really use anymore. Are they gonna do anything about that? So they said like they're trying to think of ways to like encourage players to use a diverse like selection of heroes more. They didn't really specify too much about how they might do that. One possibility they offered is like they might add like achievements or something, where like, oh, you have to beat this map with these heroes or something. Like that's one idea they threw around. Yeah, but aside from that, like they showed off some of the minor adjustments that are going to be coming up in the upcoming patches. So they showed off like this trophy shelf, which is basically like it's just like a display case for like your skins and stuff.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, like you can only equip one skin at a time, so I guess it's nice to have like a display case for all of them, if it's possible. So yeah, it's just like a fluff option. Guild Wars is going to be getting a level 70 difficulty.
Oh, cool.
And they will be adding a sweep function to Guild Wars. And I didn't explain how the sweep function works in the last video, so let me explain a little bit about how it works. So the sweep function for Guild Wars is basically you will choose heroes that you want to sweep with. So just like playing Guild Wars normally, you will use up characters when you sweep it. So like, so you will choose characters, and then like I believe it says like their total character level, and I forget what else. I think it was like their class level will be used to determine how successful the sweep is. And you can actually sweep in parties too. So you can actually invite like lower level members in your guild into your guild war, and then put in all your really strong characters, and they put in their characters, and you can sweep for like, whatever score you get. And that, that it's a cool way for like older players to help out any newbies in your guild and stuff.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah. At the same time, even though they added a sweep for Guild Wars, which means a lot of people are saving more time now, they are also developing a new Guild Wars mode. So, Okay, so the new guild mode that they teased, they didn't really explain a lot about it. There's going to be it looks a little bit similar to the Guild Wars we already have, in that there are like specific locations with like faction power up, and but like you can. There's like this map where you like they didn't explain it too much. It's like there's like this map where I guess you move around the map and attack certain territories, and then obtain them. So the guild works together to conquer it, just like in Guild Wars. But there will also be leaderboards this time across guilds. So there's like a guild versus guild aspect to it, but I don't know like how it might manifest. It is a PvE mode ultimately. Like you are still fighting against NPC units, but it's like Ancient Beckoning, where like it's a PvE mode, but then there's like leaderboards.
Okay.
Okay, and some other minor things they added. They will be increasing the game speed soon. So for those of you who are tired of watching the game in 2x speed, I'm sure they're going to add.
At this point in time, it's just I'm used to it.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny. Like when I accidentally shift it back into normal speed, and I'm like, why is the game running in slow motion?
Yes.
They're gonna add new music to the game, which is nice because, like ever since launch, they've been they had like mostly the same songs. Like they added like 2 or 3 new songs since then, but it felt like they didn't add that many new songs. But they're adding new music, which is nice. They also said they're going to add several of the old like event skins to the shop. They didn't specify which ones, but it is nice they're doing this so that we're gonna have some way of, because like a lot of those old skins, like they have never rerun, and it's been like it's been 2 years since the game has been out, so it's kind of crazy that there's so many skins that we just straight up cannot get.
Yeah.
So they are saying they're gonna I don't know if they're permanent editions. It sounded like they are permanent editions actually to the shop. So
that would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be nice. Obviously, you need to save your skin vouchers or buy those skin vouchers from the Sunday shop if you want to, if there's some kind of skin you want. But maybe you should wait until we get more news and figure out which skins are going to be ones available.
Yeah.
Once they're out on the Chinese server, I'll try to like take a screenshot and like show them to everybody if I can. Aside from that, there is a new collab on the Chinese server. It's a collaboration with Kentucky Fried Chicken, which is the best collab ever.
Wait, it was KFC? When you said it, I thought that was King of the Fighters or something. No, that's KFC.
No, it's KFC. You didn't see the picture of Liana holding KFC. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to temper your excitement. I don't think we'll be getting this one in the States.
I'm still ecstatic that it even exists in the first place.
I mean, at the very least, we should be able to get some nice like images from the Chinese server, like once they get them. Like,
oh my god,
I feel like it's pretty funny. Like, I mean,
this is beautiful.
Liana holding that plate of KFC.
Oh my god, Colonel would be proud.
With her perfect figure, which really shows that she did not eat any of that fried chicken herself.
Nope.
Unfortunately, I don't think Colonel Sanders will be playable. I don't think that's an option here.
I mean, he got his own video game recently, so...
Okay, so you're saying it's possible.
It's possible.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, stuff like this is pretty hard to bring over, I think. I mean, because like, obviously, like, the context is completely different. Langrisser is obviously a bigger success over there, so it's easier to get a collab with a big fast food chain like that over there in China.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but yeah, like, I mean, it would be cool if we could get this collab in the States, but it's very unlikely, because it's probably really hard to, like, get that collab going with the fast food chain in the States the way...
Okay.
With Langrisser being as obscure as it is in the global server. It's unfortunate, but I guess we'll see.
Okay.
I'll try to poke the devs and say like, you have to bring over the KFC.
Please, we will buy all of the money. Do it.
Okay. Okay. With that out of the way, one last thing I want to address is that during the second anniversary, like one of the like celebrations they did, the Chinese server is getting 18 Gate of Fate and the Secret Realm increase recently.
Okay.
So I've had several people like express concerns to me that like, oh, the new like Gate of Fate item that you can get from the Sunday shop and that you can get in some of the future like crossover events and stuff means that they will never do 18 Gate of Fate again. But at least in this case, they did get another 18 Gate of Fate event. It's for the second anniversary. We don't know if they're going to get more, but at least we know they can still do them. So it's not a case of they introduced that item, so they'll never do 18 Gate of Fate anymore. So there's that.
Did you talk about the Chinese get a bag of sale? bag for sale.
Oh yeah. There was like yes, there is like a grab bag for sale on the second anniversary in China. I mentioned this, of course, in the previous video, where basically it's a bag where you get to choose one specific hero. It's not like those bags where it gives you randomly one shard of 3 characters. You get to choose specifically one character you want.
Please come over to Global.
But yeah, I think even though I said there's not a lot of there wasn't that much news, we actually ended up talking quite a bit of time about it anyway.
Yes.
But like, we didn't have a guest on this time. I was going to have a guest, like I said, but I didn't think there was that much information. But don't worry, we will have a guest on soon, and I think you guys will be looking forward to that one. You have anything finally want to add, Frontier, before we say goodbye?
I'm actually looking forward to this stuff now.
Yeah. We got about 5 or 6 months before this comes. It's like, it'll be interesting to see what Global might throw for the anniversary as well.
Yeah.
You know. All right. Yeah, lots of exciting things coming. Hopefully this game will keep on going for another year,
yep,
and maybe even longer. And hopefully it will not become horrible.
Oh.
Okay. But with that, I think we're done here.
Yep.
We'll see you guys next time.
See you guys next time.